back to my channel. Now this is my second episode, and as I said before, this series will be talking about my mother's experience with Alzheimer's disease. Now today we are going to be talking about some of the early signs that were observed in mommy. Before I go into that though, I'm going to share with you what Alzheimer's is. Now, according to the Mayo Clinic, Alzheimer's disease is a type of dementia. Now, what is dementia, you ask? Dementia is a term that is used to describe a group of symptoms that affects the memory, the thinking, the social ability of an individual, and it also interferes with their daily life. Dementia is not a specific disease according to the Mayo Clinic, but it is several diseases. Now, Alzheimer's is a type of dementia, and Alzheimer's is a progressive neurological disorder that causes the brain to shrink over a period of time. What happens is that the brain cells eventually die. Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia, and it causes a continuous decline in behavior, social skills, as well as affecting the individual's ability to function independently. And that is why, after a while, persons suffering from dementia will naturally require the care of a caregiver. Now let's go into my mother's early signs of Alzheimer's. Of course, during those early stages, we had no idea that she was suffering from Alzheimer's. We just thought that it was strange that she was changing, but we really didn't know. The most we attributed it to was a sign of aging. So let's talk about the first set of signs that we saw. The first thing we observed was that mommy asked for the date right throughout the day. She kept asking, what day is it today? What day is it today? Even if you just said it to her 5 minutes ago, she will come back again. What is today's date? Sometimes it was a bit annoying for us because we just told you what the date was. So in a half an hour time span, for example, mommy would ask the date 15 times, and I'm not exaggerating. But guess what? My mother was a very smart woman. She recognized that something was wrong. She thought we didn't recognize. So what do you think she did? She asked us to write the current date every morning and place it on the fridge door for her. So we would say today is, for example, today is Monday, January 2nd, 2023. And also she asked us to place it at the front of her Bible. Why? Well, she studies the adult Sabbath school lesson every day, and every day she sometimes finds that she would forget, or she would be studying the same day's lesson over and over. So when she had the current date, it served as a guide for her, and that helped for a while. Another thing we noticed with her is that she would just butt into our conversations regardless of where we are on the road, at church, at home, talking with a stranger. She just came in, and most times her comments did not connect with the line of argument at all, which was, for the most part, I must say, it was a bit embarrassing for us. So what we tried to do was to keep her close to us at all times. So in the event she wanted to say something, we would sometimes give her a nudge. Sometimes she would pick up and realize that she's not to get in the conversation. Other times, there was just nothing we could do about it. After a while, of course, our friends realized what was happening, and so it wasn't really a bother to them. It was more a bother and an embarrassment for us. But we tried our best to be accommodating, because it seemed that she really had no control over what she was doing. And of course, yes, we had challenges with our neighbors. Now, I'm going to share with you two of the instances where there were challenges with our neighbors. Now, one of our neighbors that lives across from us had a garden hose. And of course, my mother also had a garden hose. But in her mind, she had two. So one day when the neighbor was watering her lawn, what do you think Mommy did? She went over there and she created a hullabaloo, because she said she lent the lady her hose and she has been using it for quite some time now. And as soon as she's finished, she wants it back. So the neighbor, not even knowing that something was wrong, tried to explain to Mommy that, Miss Gordon, you are mistaken. This is not yours. And my mother would not have it. It became a big deal until, of course, we had to go over, apologize to the neighbors, but it did affect our relationship with them for quite a long time. They didn't speak with us for a number of years, and even though we tried to explain what was happening, guess what? They didn't even understand either. But I'm happy to say that after a while, that relationship mended and they understood what was happening to her. Then there was the incident with the neighbor behind us. Now in this case, our neighbor had like a table at the back of her yard, and on that table was a sheet of zinc that she would use to spread clothes to get sun, or she would put a basin with white clothes to have sun. My mother all of a sudden decided that this piece of zinc belongs to her, and then came the drama. Every week when it was time to wash, Mommy would go over, knock on the zinc, and she tried to tell the neighbor that she want her zinc that she loaned her some time ago. And guess what? She could give her the exact date when she loaned her the zinc and the conversation they had. And my neighbor was not having it. So there was always a confrontation between Mommy and this lady over the zinc. We eventually got the chance to talk with her and explain to her what was happening, and so she too understood. There was no animosity. We continued the good neighborly relationship, so that was not affected at all. But those were two of the instances where we had challenges, and those of course were the early signs when we were just baffled and confused, didn't even know what was happening to Mommy, and so we really had challenges coping. But as time progressed, we tried to find different ways to maneuver the challenges that came our way. Now, in our next episode, I will continue to share with you some of the early signs that Mommy showed when the dementia just started creeping upon her. So, thank you for watching. Please like after you have watched it, subscribe, and share it with a friend or a family member. And as I said before, I hope that our story will help someone else in their journey caring for someone with Alzheimer's. So that's it for this evening's episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.